Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here, and it is Wednesday the 30th of November. Can you believe it? Last day of November. In a month's time, it'll be the last day of the year. Can't believe it. Anyway, thanks for all the support you continue to give to the site. Really is appreciated. This is all kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen here, and by the fact that you click on the adverts and go through to the sponsors. So if you do see an advert around the screen that you like, click on it, go through to the sponsor. That generates revenue for us and shows the sponsor that you're interested in the site here and what I'm doing. Now, looking like we've got this cold, consistent slip into excuse me, into a cooler weather during the coming days. It's kind of building on the picture that I've been giving you for the last week or so now. This is the comparison between the ECMWF chart at the top here and the GFS chart at the bottom there. And you can see it's a whole hemisphere chart. The British Isles is just underneath here, and this is for 500 millibars, so it shows the ridges, which are these things here, these N shapes, and the troughs, which are the U shapes. And if we just run through the sequence here, what I want you to do is to notice how persistent this ridge is off the eastern states and this ridge is in the Atlantic. Watch what happens. Look, as I run through the sequence, that's the 2nd of December, there's the 3rd, there's the 4th, so we're up to Sunday now. Here's the 5th, onto the 6th, onto the 7th, and finally onto the 8th of December, which is a week tomorrow. So it's a week on Thursday. And what I want you to notice is, look, we've got this ridge east of the states, we've got a trough through the states itself, and then another ridge through the Atlantic with a trough over Eastern Europe. Now this pattern is a classic pattern when we get such big ridges and troughs in the atmosphere. Trough, we get ridge, trough, ridge, trough. That's what happens. Now it becomes important for our weather because it's the positioning of this ridge. You see how that ridge is nudging northwards? That's bringing the air more in from a west or northwesterly direction, and the jet stream is through the middle of this line. You can see it just clipping Southern Ireland, southwest England, going down into Europe on the ECMWF here. Now, north of the jet stream you get cooler conditions, and that's why I think that the British Isles is going to be unsettled, it's going to be windy at times, and it's certainly going to be cooler than we've been used to. And the GFS is backing that up too, although the GFS does have a little shortwave trough out here west of Ireland, but generally you can see there that we have that ridge in place, and again we're on the mainly on the cold side of the jet stream. So let's just try and build that picture a little bit. Here's the 7 to 10 day means of the 500 millibar flow, and the reason I stay with 500 millibars is it's about 18,000 feet in the atmosphere, and by looking at high levels in the atmosphere you kind of remove the day-to-day variations in the weather, and it gives you an idea as to how patterns are going to develop over the coming days. This is the ECMWF on the left, this is the GFS on the right here, and the red colour showing us where the heights are higher than normal. You can see there through eastern parts of the states, through the Atlantic, higher than normal heights, below normal up towards the north of the country on both sets of charts, with a jet stream screaming through in between these two areas. So we maintain this unsettled condition right the way through the period of the forecast, and this is ending a week on Saturday. So this ends up on Saturday the 10th of December. Now what all this means is that it looks as if precipitation through Scotland, Northern Ireland and Northern England at times could well turn wintry, but to the south probably staying as rain, but it will be cooler and windy too. Now it wouldn't take a lot for colder air to sink southwards through the British Isles, and that's what I'm watching carefully for the signs of. So it wouldn't take a great deal for cold air to come southwards and for suddenly to see some sleet and snow moving perhaps as far south as the Midlands, Wales, Eastern England, perhaps even down to Southern England during the middle to the end of next week. There is an awful lot of cold air towards the north of the country across the pole at the moment, and if this flow, if that ridge were to be a little stronger, and even a little stronger than the ECMWF is showing here, suddenly we could go into a proper northwesterly, which could bring some outbreaks of more unsettled conditions. It's something that I'm going to be watching out for over the coming days. So let's just take you through how things show up every few hours for the coming days. This is from the GFS model at Weather Online. This is this afternoon, and you notice low pressure there to the north of Scotland. Watch the fronts as they track eastwards through us during the course of tonight. Windy conditions for Scotland during tonight. Look how close together the isobars are there. So some severe gales up here, but I think that rain will be clearing its way eastwards by Thursday morning. Thursday, not too bad a day overall for most of us. Sunshine and showers, wintry across Scotland, but look in the southeast here. Watch this rain moving northeastwards through the southeast. Some heavy rain across southern and southeastern England during the course of tomorrow afternoon. So let's take you on through into Friday. Here comes another area of low pressure. Look, Friday not too bad a day, but it will feel cool, but then rain, look, getting into western Scotland, Ireland, western Wales later on in the day, and becoming windy too. Look, the isobars close together here overnight in towards Saturday. So into Saturday itself, it looks like being a windy and probably quite a cold day. I think a really chilly day to come on Saturday. Frequent showers northern and western coast of Scotland, Northern Ireland. Some of these wintry at times, but drier down towards the south. And then into Sunday, well, this is the one that's causing some concern at the moment. Sunday morning, probably see showers across western Scotland, northern Scotland. Very little to the south where it'll be quite cold, but just look what's coming in. This area of low pressure, if that develops for Sunday, that could bring storm force winds across southern parts of the country. Not sure this is exactly the way this is going to be, but previous runs of the model have backed this up, so this is the way this could shape out. Now, as that clears into the North Sea, bringing some very cold air on the back edge of it, this could turn rain to snow across northern England, northeast England, blizzard conditions across the Pennines, sleet possible through the Midlands, and perhaps also East Anglia. So the potential for a covering of snow across the Midlands, East Anglia, parts of northern England by Monday morning, and certainly snow at higher levels, and severe gales, winds up to 70 or even 80-mile-an-hour gusts if that came true. And then into next week, well, it's just a cooler pattern overall. We've got higher pressure down to the south, these areas of low pressure running in continuously with the jet stream, pushing through bands of rain followed by showers and ever cooler conditions too, with another colder blast perhaps coming through on Wednesday and Thursday. And really that's what I'm focused on at the moment. I'm looking at the period from Wednesday the 7th through to Saturday the 10th, and I'm looking for the potential for a proper cold northerly blast of air coming in during that period. Now, question is now, what happens after that? How does mid-December shape up? Well, my feeling at the moment is that our ridge, which we're showing on the chart here, the ridge is likely, this ridge I feel could build to be within this sort of position here by the middle of the month. That puts high pressure west of Ireland. That brings in a northwesterly flow, so it could stay cool, and as the high drifts eastwards, I suspect that England, Wales, Ireland from about the 15th could become frosty and foggy. Not desperately cold, but frosty and foggy. I think across Scotland we could find snow at times, particularly at high levels, but not exclusively so. And that could take us through to around about the 20th, 21st. Then it becomes crucial as to what happens to that area of high pressure. Should a block form, should that form across northern parts of Europe, we could go into an east or southeasterly wind through the Christmas period, bringing us into much colder conditions towards the end of the year. Should that ridge get pushed away a little bit further south and squeezed up, we could just go back into a westerly jet stream, relatively cool conditions such as we'll have next week, and it could become very unsettled as well. So I'm okay with this period 15th to the 20th, high pressure building in, becoming frosty and foggy across the south, some snow across the north perhaps, but again, don't go over the top on that. But then the period from the 20th onwards, big question mark on that. Need to watch it for the risk of either turning very cold or becoming relatively cool, temperatures near normal. I'll leave you with that thought. Keep the sun shining. Thanks for watching, and watch those winds through Scotland tonight.